Have you ever wondered what would happen if Earth suddenly went insane? Look at Venus, our cosmic doppelganger. Same size, same mass. It once had a past, no different from the very home you are standing in right now. But now, it is a nightmare of physics. A surface hot enough to melt lead, pressure immense enough to crush the hull of a nuclear submarine, clouds of sulfuric acid swirling eternally, like a life sentence without parole. But that isn't the most terrifying part. It's not the heat. It's not the pressure. And it's not even the acid storms. It is the silence beneath the clouds, because behind that silence, something refuses to end. A crippled heartbeat is pulsing beneath that hellscape, defying every definition we have of a dead planet. What if Venus isn't merely a wasteland, but an entity transitioning into a state that our logic cannot yet comprehend? And what exactly is it trying to whisper to us through that deadly haze? We didn't approach Venus blindly. We sent machines ahead of us, dozens of them, and most of them never came back. In the 20th century, the Venera program was launched with a single, ruthless objective: not to fly by, not to observe from a distance, but to touch hell itself. The first craft to successfully land survived for exactly 23 minutes. Then, silence. Not a slow fade, but a sudden, violent severance, as if a gargantuan hand had simply crushed it out of existence. Subsequent missions sent back the first images: a flat, desolate landscape, pitch black basalt rocks, and a sky that was fundamentally wrong to human eyes. Dense, jaundiced, and heavy enough to suffocate all logic. But listen closely to the surviving audio tapes from Venera 13. You will hear the wind sweeping across a wasteland. Yes, you will hear the metal groaning and screeching under the horrific pressure. But deep beneath those sounds all, there is something else, an irregular rhythm, a vibration that belongs neither to the atmosphere nor the machinery. The official explanation from scientists: heat and pressure destroyed them. It sounds perfectly logical. But why does every machine we send there stop speaking in such a mysterious fashion? One by one, as if Venus isn't just resisting exploration, as if it is actively devouring the intruders. We send our steel eyes into the void, and in return, we receive only the final screams of metal before they dissolve into the eternal acid mist. For a long time, Venus was considered an absolute, sterile wasteland. Too hot, too harsh. A cursed environment where no biological structure has the right to exist. But in 2020, that reality was shaken. A strange signal emerged from the clouds: phosphine. On Earth, this gas is a signature of anaerobic life, bacteria that thrive in swamps and the guts of living creatures. Its appearance on Venus through spectral analysis created a crack in our understanding. Mainstream science tried to patch that crack with soulless explanations, high-pressure chemical reactions, or unknown volcanic eruptions. These theories sounded safe until the latest studies in 2025 revealed additional traces of ammonia. Things are not static. They are shifting. They are rhythmic, like a breath. At an altitude of 50 to 60 kilometers above that hellish surface, a fragile oasis exists. Temperatures range from only 30 to 70 degrees Celsius. Pressure is comparable to Earth, a narrow sliver of space, drifting high above the fire pit. Face the craziest hypothesis. Something is living there. Acid-resistant microbes, surviving in tiny water droplets, releasing gases that we can only guess at from a distance. Or, more terrifyingly, this is a form of chemistry we have never seen before, a lifeless system that perfectly mimics the signals of life. A cosmic trap, designed to make us believe we are not alone. From millions of kilometers away, we don't see organisms. We only see signatures, patterns, signals filtered through a thick veil of toxic clouds. If this is truly life, why would it choose a place like this to begin? And if it isn't life, then what brutal chemical laws is the universe still hiding from us? From the outside, the surface of Venus looks like a permanently weathered painting. Flat plains, scattered rocks, no oceans. Not a single movement ever catches the eyes of our satellites. But beneath that stoic crust, reality takes a different shape. Radar data analysis from the Magellan spacecraft has revealed strange structures, lava tubes. These are collapsed tunnels formed by ancient volcanic activity. In a region known as Nyx Mons, researchers have identified a peculiar structure with a wide opening. A skylight, an entrance leading deep into the underworld. Estimates suggest this is a hollow chamber hundreds of meters deep. And this might only be a small fragment of a gargantuan subterranean network, stretching like veins beneath the hellish surface. The path of molten lava left behind these fortified, hollow cores. We see them on Earth, on the Moon, and on Mars. But on Venus, these tubes hold a completely different meaning for survival. While the surface above is a furnace hot enough to liquefy metal and bathed in brutal radiation, the interior of these tunnels offers a bizarre stability. They are shielded from the fury of the acid atmosphere. They are protected from extreme temperature fluctuations. Face the ultimate question. What if the surface is not the most stable place on Venus? What if the most ideal habitats are hidden right beneath our feet? Dark, enclosed, and completely isolated. These tubes are more than just geological features. They are natural bunkers, vaults of time, preserving conditions that vanished from the surface ages ago, or preserving something else. In those eternal crevices of darkness, what could be surviving? And how long have they been there, while the entire planet above has been screaming in red fire? Since the early 1980s, we haven't dared to return to the surface of Venus. At least, not directly. For over 4 decades, not a single modern machine has transmitted data from the molten crust of this planet. Everything we know about our twin consists of aging memories from the Soviet era. Projects like Dovai NCI or Veritas are being planned to break this silence, but they remain on paper, years away from reality. This lack of data has created a dangerous void uncertainty. We don't truly know what the surface of Venus looks like today. We don't know how powerful its geological pulse is beating. And we are completely blind as to whether those strange signals in the clouds are fleeting fluctuations or something rising with persistence. Venus might once have possessed vast oceans, a thick atmosphere teeming with life, a strong, protective magnetic field, a world that, in its infancy, was no different from Earth. So, what happened? What choked a blue planet and turned it into an acid furnace? And more importantly, is that horrific script silently repeating itself somewhere else? The universe has no shortage of rocky planets, but perhaps it also has no shortage of forgotten warnings. Venus is not just a planet. It is a mirror reflecting a future that we still refuse to acknowledge. Venus does not speak our language. It does not transmit codes for us to decrypt, nor does it display movements that we can easily comprehend. But it leaves traces, the images from crushed machines, the sounds that were never fully resolved, the chemical signatures that pose more questions than answers, and the structures buried beneath a surface that knows no forgiveness. It doesn't answer us. It simply exists. And that is the most terrifying part of all, because Venus is not a dead planet. It is a transformed planet, a world that began exactly like Earth, but veered in a completely different direction. A reminder that life is nothing more than a fragile balance, a fleeting moment in the ruthless timeline of the universe. All it takes is one small shift in atmosphere, in chemistry, in time, and everything can vanish. Therefore, the question is no longer about Venus. It is about us. If a planet identical to Earth can become this brutal, how much is the stability we currently enjoy truly worth? And if something once existed there, whether it was life or something far more alien, where did it go? Or is it still there, lurking in the corners where the eyes of humanity have never reached? When future missions finally return, what will they find? A silent world, or proof that Venus has never truly been quiet? Because sometimes, the most dangerous signals are the ones that don't look like signals at all. So, what do you think Venus is hiding? And if it has been whispering to us for millions of years, do we really want to understand what it's saying?